Welcome. In this video we're going to walk through the process of how to stream videos and add or embed a YouTube video to your record. So we're going to go into and upload file, and we're going to put in the title of the video that we're going to be uploading. In this case it is Bob Brown. And we're going to indicate our correct media type, video. And before I go and add my video file, I'm going to actually attach a hero shot. So to do that, I'm going to click on Thumb and Regular, and I'm going to go and find the hero shot I need. Go into my video streaming, and there's Bob Brown. And do my upload. Again, this workflow should be very familiar by now. Much of it is going to be the same. So there's my hero shot. So the next thing I want to do is actually attach my video files. So I'm going to go into my file text screen, associate another file with this record, and make sure that I'm choosing my right category, in this case a video. And I do want to attach a label, so I'm just going to put chapter 1. And I'm going to go and find my video file. And there's the first one there. Now, we have ours in FLV. You can also do it in MP4 and in MOV. If you're unsure, again, you can always contact us at help@vidatoolkit.ca, and we will work with you to get the right video file to upload to your Vita site. So I've chosen my first one. Now I have mine under 10 megabytes. Just be aware that I think you're up to 100, you're safe. Again, you might want to double check that, but obviously if you have a heavier file, not only is it going to affect the storage plan you have for Vita, it means that it's going to take longer on your end for the video to process. It's also going to take longer, or could affect the streaming and the buffering for your end user. So the lighter the better. So mine's 5.66 megabytes. Let's see how long that takes to load. Not too bad. Over to continue. Now here's a bit of a step away. Again, anytime you see anything on here, probably best to read it, give it a good read, because it means that there's something a little different happening. In this case, the video now has to be handed over to a third-party streaming host for processing. So depending on the size of your file, you have an option of opening another tab to do your work while the video is being processed and handed back. Now, if you want to do that, you must click here before you click here. So if you wanted to continue working, if you click on this, you see it'll open another window and you can work away. And remember, if you're going to check back and leave, update your information, or else everything you've done will have to be redone. But mine's a pretty light file, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to close that window, and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to transfer the video to the streaming server. Now we've tested this a few times and it takes a few minutes. Okay, that's not too bad. Again here, take a deep breath, count slowly to 10, and then click this button. Okay, well, let's see what happens. Oh, there, that wasn't too bad at all. So let's repeat that process and add in chapter 2. So I'm going to go back to associate another file with this record. Again, you want to pick your correct category, video. You want to put in your label. And let's go and find our second file. Again, I'm staying below 10 megabytes. And click on continue. And let's throw caution to the wind and just click on our transfer button. And the first one didn't take too long, so this one is about the same size, so it shouldn't be too bad. And that wasn't bad at all. Okay, so let's click, and there we have our second one. So now we could move on to our descriptive screen and do a bit of descriptive metadata. So you can see what we have so far is we have our hero shot and there's our chapters. Again, you can add as many chapters as you need. I am now going to flip mine to public view. Again, it's up to you. Personal workflows, sometimes you want to keep it on no for public display until you have everything filled out. Now the indexing cycle is a half hour to 1.5 hours, so depending on where you are on the cycle will dictate how quickly your record flips over to the public view. So there's a media type, which is video. Now I am going to indicate a secondary media type, text, because we are going to be loading in a complete transcript for people to download at their leisure. You want to indicate item type, video recordings, videotapes. There's our title. Now if you know perhaps the interviewee or the interviewer, sorry, their name and their role, you could pop it in there. I don't happen to know that, but I do obviously know that the interviewee is Bob Brown, so I'm going to put his name in. And the fact that he is the interviewee is his role. Now for subjects, we should all be familiar with this now. I am going to put in let's say interviews. It's probably too generic, but just to illustrate the point. Interviews. Okay. Personal names. In this case, I can put in one. Brown, Bob, and if there was anyone else attached to this particular record, then I would pop it in there. Perhaps you're doing something about a corporation, the corporate names will go there. Again, description and notes. There are nuances between these fields. Don't forget your help icons. This field is meant to describe the original resource being presented by the digital object. Perhaps you want to add in some information about how the video was made, equipment used, that type of thing. Notes are more contextual history, which you can pop in there. Now transcriptions, we're going to put our transcript in here. And this is the one that's going to sit on our descriptive page. So you can do this one of two ways. You can go ahead and type it in as you're working, or it's probably easier for your workflow if you have it transcribed. You save it in a RTF or TXT file. And I'm just going to go ahead, I'm cheating a bit and I'm using the file I had for my audio, but it serves to illustrate the same purpose. It's the same process. And if you recall the inscription for our postcard we did initially, it is actually the same process. So there you have it. And you can actually add HTML if you want to make it a little more interesting and easier to read. Next I'm going to indicate my language, which is English. And if I had a mystery question, I could pop it in there. Now my playing time. I'm not quite sure what the playing time is on here, so I'm just going to show you that the protocol would be hours, minutes, second. Now if you know the publisher, place of publication, I'm not sure that's really appropriate for a video, but of course if you had that information you'd pop it in there. The date of original, if you knew the date when this was created, you would want to indicate it. So let's just say it was June 25th, 1984. And as always, before you leave your screen, update your record to commit all the metadata you've just created. And let's see what we have so far. Well, we have our hero shot, we have the chapters that we've uploaded, and our description would be here. And there's your transcription down at the bottom here. So if we go back, we could continue with our workflow. If you had geographic information, you could add it. The same for admin. So if you had a unique identifier attached or a unique number, you would pop it in there. And we've done these before. We know what they're for. You can indicate your permissions. The next window, groups. Now, as I've mentioned many times, creating a group for you to put your records in to aggregate your information. It's just very good collection management. You will find it useful also when you decide down the line if you want to create virtual exhibits, slideshows for the front of your site. Then you're going to pull all the items from these groups. It saves you from searching through your collection of finding what you need. It's just good collection management practice. So I am going to pop mine into my videos, and I'm going to update. And of course, if you want it to link out to an external site, perhaps your own website, or if you're working with a partner agency, you could pop that information in here. I think that's pretty straightforward. And of course, our delete. If you do hit delete, then it will be scrubbed for good. It is not stored anywhere, so you will have to recreate the record. So let's see what we have again so far. There's our description. Okay, so the last thing we have to do, or the second last thing, is we want to add our complete transcript for download. So we go into our file text screen, associate another file with this record. And because we're adding a text object, a PDF, we want to go down to text file for our category. We do want to label it. And because mine is a single file, I don't need it to be burst, but if you had multiple pages and you did want the toolkit to burst out your PDF, you would just indicate yes. However, I'm going to leave mine on the default no because I don't need it to do that. Now I'm going to go and find my file. And there's my PDF there. Again, I'm using my Willoughby Polka from my audio, but again, the process is exactly the same. And start my upload. And there you can see is the PDF that's been attached. Now, the one thing you do have to do is if you go into the details edit, we've already have the transcripts we've added on our descriptive screen have already been indexed, so we don't need them to be indexed again. So you just click no and make sure that the PDF itself will not be indexed. Again, update before you leave the screen. There's your confirmation. And we'll go into our update record. Okay, so the last thing we want to do is we want to embed a YouTube video. So if your organization does have YouTube channels, YouTube videos, it's dead easy to embed them in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the video I want to embed, and I'm going to choose this one. No, we don't want it to play. So I'm simply going to go and grab the code, the embed code, grab it there, go back to my record, go into my embed video, put in my title, pop in my code. Now we do want to have the running time, so let's just jump back here, and I believe, having done this before, it's not showing there because it's the annoying ad. I think it was 7 minutes and 37 seconds. So that sounds about right. I'm just going to pop that in. And then I'm going to click on submit. Update record. And let's go and see what we have. And there's our YouTube video. You'll also notice that because I've added my record into a group, it's aggregated. So if I click on videos, every video I create and put in that group will now show here. So it's basically one-stop shopping for your end users. They don't have to go searching. So again, this is another good reason why you want to get into the practice of adding records to groups. So that's basically the process of how to create or do video streaming and how to embed a YouTube video. Again, between this and our Toolkit help site where we have our manuals. There's our video manual. The basis should be covered for you, but again, if you have any problems, issues, you just need help, contact us at help@vidatoolkit.ca and we're there for you. I hope you found this video useful. See you next time. Bye for now.